I went through 12th grade. I mean, first through 12th grade, and graduated in 1947. My dad was a dairy farmer, and classes weren't big, but it got to the point where we had split classes half and half, you know, like 4th and 5th, and I guess that went on until senior year.
Tell them how many you graduated with.
There was 12 in graduation class. But it was a good school. Everybody was friendly, you know, and it was small, and you knew everybody, and almost everybody, and what have you, and I just enjoyed it. I was in band, played the bass drum, and we was practicing marching out on the field one day, and I stepped in a hole and fell on the edge of the drum. But I enjoyed that. It interfered with basketball team, and I played basketball a little bit, but I wasn't on the team. I'd rather have band as that, and I enjoyed it. No, we didn't have a football team. Now earlier, in the earlier years, they had one, but we didn't. It was basketball and baseball or softball, whatever. One time the coach asked me to keep score, and I didn't know anything about baseball, but I kept score for him. Had outdoor toilets. I might tell you, we didn't have a cafeteria. When they fixed one, they had shelves. The first grade was down the hall on the east side of the building at the south side end of it, and they had shelves built on the wall on the hallway, and that's where we'd go to eat. It was a two-story building, and they built the year I graduated, they built the new gym, and then they built the other building out. But it was a U entrance and what have you. And one thing that I hate is that down on the east corner of the driveway, down by 61st, there was supposed to have been a memory deal in that tombstone. The what do you call it? Anyway, I don't know what happened to that.
Oh, a time capsule?
Yeah.
A time capsule?
Yeah, and I never heard anything about that. Mm-hmm. And they used to have in the entrance pictures of graduating classes and what have you. Well, they're gone. Somebody said they got destroyed, water got to them or something, and I was sad about that. The classes are so much bigger now that it's so different. And of course, at the time, you knew, you know, a lot of people in the school, not only in my grade, but grade school, and junior high, and high school.
My first 8 years in school, I went through the Tulsa public school system, and I left, was in the 8th grade at Nimitz Junior High, and then we moved into the district, and I started my freshman year. There was 800 enrolled in the 8th grade at Nimitz, and I came out to Union, and there was like 42 in my class. It was, you know, it was a real culture shock. But after going through my freshman year, and that was the year that they won the state championship in 1963, the camaraderie built up. I had thought about transferring back to be with, you know, the kids that I had grown up with, but after that I couldn't do it. You know, from then on I was a redskin tried and true.
I was disappointed about us moving, into the Union District, but I always thought Union was a good school and what have you.
Well,
So
if I was going to call my girlfriend, it was going to be long distance then from Broken Arrow to Tulsa. That didn't last long. I got to play the state champions. They used us for practice fodder most of the time. I was just a freshman. Back then, freshmen could play varsity ball. We were Class C, which is the smallest class in 12-man football, or 11-man football. So I spent a lot of time on the bench and during the games, but yeah, it was still a thrill. We never played Broken Arrow when I was in high school. I think Broken Arrow was a Class B school and Union was Class C, so there was never any. We played, I can remember we played Bigsby. We played Bigsby the year we won the championship, and they kicked our butts. Or they kicked their butts. I just watched from the sidelines. But anyway, I know over the 4 years that I played football, we went to the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years, won the state championship once, and was in the semifinals twice. So we had Jim Sanders was our football coach, and he was one of the old hard-nosed dudes. I mean, when you got through with the practice, you knew you were done. And we'd start practice about August 15th, and we'd have like 2-a-days, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, come back at 7 that evening and practice. I prayed for school to start so practice would only be once a day.
And the stadium was was behind the school.
It's over there, it's south of the 8th grade center or 7th grade center. It's still there.
It was small, and parking was kind of limited. Oh goodness, it was exciting. And of course, at one time, the parking was scarce, and I was down at the end of the field, the north end of the field, and he got hurt, and my husband went up and got him and carried him off the field.
Dad picked me up and carried me off the field.
But we always look forward to it.
I dislocated a hip, and the team doctor put it back in place, and I think I missed 2 plays, and I was back in. Back then, if you got hurt, they put a little Nitrotan on and sent you back in. That's just the way it was. One thing I wanted to add about the '63 championship game, the week before there was snow on the ground almost every day, and that we were practicing actually in the gym, in tennis shoes and shorts and stuff. Well, the day of the game, which we were going to play on Saturday, we went to Stillwater because we were playing. I want to say Woodward. Is that right? Or no?
No,
I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. But we played in Stillwater because it was like a central place. Well, it warmed up that day. It cleared off and beautiful sunshine. And the snow started melting on the field. We played on the high school field, Hamilton High School, Stillwater High School field. Well, that night it got down to about 15 degrees, and it was a sheet of ice. And the linemen had to jump up and down to get their cleats in the ice in order to get any kind of traction. And we sat by, they had 5-gallon buckets of charcoal on the sidelines to warm up. It got so cold that the bands, like the trombone slides, froze. They couldn't play them. It was cold, but we won.
Yeah, my other son got in the car when we got ready to leave, and he was freezing. He was really cold.
So cold.